Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Noble News. This is our weekly broadcast here at the Noble Way, where we take you through all of the news and things that are interesting that have been happening over the past week that we think you ought to know about. So stay tuned. We got a lot of really exciting news coming out of Disney today that I want to share with you. So stay tuned. All right, first up we have an announcement regarding Genie Plus and Lightning Lanes. This is kind of interesting news. It's exciting, I think, but also interesting. We'll see. But apparently, Disney has announced that they are going to be adding the Space Mountain, Frozen Ever After, Expedition Everest, and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway to Genie Plus. So the $15 purchase per person per day, they are now adding those rides to the Genie Plus instead of having to pay an extra fee for a Lightning Pass. Because as you recall, with Genie Plus, there are a few different rides, the most popular rides in each park, that are not included in Genie Plus. You have to pay an extra fee, which is variable pricing depending on how crowded it is, depending on the day, which can be up to $10 or $15 per ride. But they've decided they're going to go ahead and add these, and this starts on December 19th and runs through January 3rd. There's a lot of speculation as to why they're doing this. Some people are speculating that it's because they're not getting as much traction when it comes to people buying passes for these particular rides. So the Genie Plus or the Lightning Lanes are just not being used. People are also speculating that it could just be because they've been having so many technical issues with Lightning Lanes, especially in, like, if you look at Disneyland, there's been a lot of technical issues. There's been refunds having to give out. There's been a lot of people frustrated with not being able to get these passes. And then there's been a lot of frustrations with Genie Plus purchase users who are buying $15 per person per day, and then they go to get on the app to actually reserve their pass, and there's nothing available because there's just too many people doing Genie Plus and not enough passes available. So by expanding an additional ride into that will probably relieve some of the pressure of people trying to actually get particular reservations.
All the same rides.
So this right now is only a temporary thing through January 3rd. It is obviously going into holiday season, which is one of the most crowded times of the year, and so it kind of makes sense being so busy. They could be testing this out to see how this changes things, whether or not it's needed to be a Lightning Pass or not. But it's interesting, very interesting. I think we're actually going to go and try Genie Plus. We've not used it yet because we've just never had a need. We just kind of go about our day, go about our business. It's never been something that we personally have needed. We don't ever have issues riding rides or waiting. We never wait more than 20 to 30 minutes for a ride ever. But we have annual passes. So what ends up happening for us is if the line is too crowded, if it's an hour, we just come back another day, or we come back later, we'll leave and come back. So it's not as big of a deal for us, but for people who are here vacationing and maybe they only have a couple of days to try to get everything in, they don't have the luxury of being like, well, we'll come back another day because this is their day. So it makes sense that you might want to pick up the Genie Plus for that. So we're going to go ahead and I think just try it for a day and explore it and see, is it worth it? Is it a pain? One of the things, though, that I have heard that is frustrating, which again could be another reason why they're adding these rides, is unless you are staying in an on-site hotel, you can't reserve your pass. You can't start reserving your passes until later. So for people on site, they can start reserving at I think 7 a.m. that day, and then for people not on site, they have to restart reserving their pass later on, a couple of hours later. So that could also be frustrating people. It could be a great perk and a reason to stay on site because Disney has continually removed reasons for staying on site with the hotels. Some of the benefits that you used to get from staying on site have disappeared. So they're bringing some of that back, which is probably a good thing. Like Rope Drop has been extended, actually, which is another piece of news that I'll just wrap into this one. Rope Drop, not Rope Drop, Early Access. I don't know why I call it Rope Drop, but early access into the parks has been a half an hour every single day if you're on-site hotels. So what they've done now is they've actually extended it to an hour. So now you get in an extra hour early, not just a half an hour, to any of the parks every single day. And that is going on now through, I think, just January 3rd as well. Mm-hmm. So that's another benefit to staying on site in the hotel. So they're starting to really bring some of the magic and the reason, the rationale back for why you should stay at an on-site hotel, which is great, because there was a lot of people starting to question, like, what's the value of staying on site, other than like staying immersed in the bubble, which I think is always the biggest benefit. But like people like to get little perks as well. So there you have it. Early access into all the parks an hour early instead of a half an hour, and adding 4 new rides: Space Mountain, Expedition Everest, Frozen Ever After. Man, that's a tough one to get into. And Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So there you go. So good news. So take advantage of it. If you're planning on coming down here for a trip over the holiday season, now you know.
House of Blues in Disney Springs is having a New Year's Eve party this year on New Year's Eve, December 31st. It is from 10 o'clock p.m. till 1:30 a.m. And it's going to be held in the courtyard there at House of Blues. And they're going to be playing 40s, 80s, and 90s music along with some dance music. The admission is free. There are VIP packages available where you get a special table, champagne. Just email Nicole Wichner at livenation.com.
I wonder if those VIP those are probably going to go fast. I wonder if there's even any available.
Yeah.
They just announced this, so it's going to be. So if you're interested in that, you got to check that out really quickly. I feel like those are going to disappear. So the party is outdoor. Mm-hmm. It's not. They're not using their indoor venue for House of Blues, huh?
Yes.
Because there's like a whole like stadium, if you will, inside House of Blues where they have like concerts and stuff. So it's outdoors. It's going to be in that whole like patio area where you can eat food and drink and stuff. So check it out if you're interested. It could be a cool, fun party. Maybe we'll actually swing by there. It sounds kind of cool because it seems less intense than like trying to go to a park on New Year's Eve and watch the fireworks.
Definitely.
That's definitely like a zoo. So maybe just hanging out and listening to some cool music might actually be a good choice. So we might check it out. So you might see us there. All right, just another quick piece of news. Indiana Jones officially started yesterday. So it was the 18th, December 18th. It just started. They've just brought it back, and I'm excited to go see it. I wanted to go see it yesterday, but we couldn't get a reservation for that park. We actually had a park reservation there on the 17th. So we were there the day before, and I was like, well, that was dumb. We should have got one on the 18th. So we didn't get to see it yet, but we've heard a lot of cool things about it. They have made a lot of adjustments. They basically have said that they've basically retooled the whole show. It's not a remake. It's not a redo. But what they've said is they basically took the whole entire show, the previous show, and looked at it, every single element of it with a keen eye and tried to decide, do we want to change this? Do we want to make this better, tweak it, whatever? And wherever they said, yes, we think that this needs to be tweaked, they made tweaks to it. So they've repainted, refurbed the sets. They've made tweaks all throughout the show. It's still basically the same general show, but they've tried to make some really cool adjustments to it. So it's almost like they retooled the show, even though when you go to watch it, you may not notice so many big changes because it's sort of relatively the same. But one of the things they did mention is they made the fight scene at the end with the airplane and everything circling around. They said they made it more energetic. I don't know. So we'll see. So I'm excited to see it. They've made some changes. I love that show. I just think it's fun. I'm a huge Indiana Jones. She doesn't think it's like the greatest show ever because it's not her thing, but I think it's great. I love it. So I feel like I'm excited to go see it. So we're going to try and get it within the next day or two. Next couple of days, we're going to try and do it, and we'll see if we can get it on film, and we'll throw it into one of our videos. So, but I'm excited. Indiana Jones. So go see it. It's open now. Go. It's an awesome show.
Blizzard Beach has extended their operating schedule till January 1st. Just until this week, there was nothing on the calendar for Blizzard Beach past Christmas, and now there is through January 1st. Now, it is rumored that the Typhoon Lagoon is going to be opening on January 2nd, and Blizzard Beach will be closing on January 2nd. That is a complete rumor.
Total rumor.
No, Disney has not announced that. Typhoon Lagoon was supposed to open in December. Its refurbishment was done in October. They started filling the pools, but some complications and things came up, so they couldn't open in December. But people are rumoring that it will open on January 2nd. I hope so. It's been a long time since we've been there. We will keep you updated on any information regarding that. That's all we know for now.
Yeah, it's a total rumor.
It's
I mean,
total
because
rumor. So it might be fake news.
because of the fact that Blizzard Beach is closing on that.
Yeah.
They didn't say it's closing. They basically have
nothing
just
beyond.
announced that it's definitely going to go through this date. The speculation is that then Typhoon Lagoon, if it's closing, then Typhoon Lagoon must be opening because Disney wouldn't want to have no water park open. Like they want to have at least one water park open. Now, it is going into the crisp, cool Florida weather, so they could actually just have nothing open.
Yeah.
Which is possible. But I think the speculation is like if they've only announced Blizzard Beach is going to this date, that means they might be closing it on that day. And if they do, then they're probably going to be opening Typhoon Lagoon because they would want to have at least one water park open. But I personally like Typhoon Lagoon better than Blizzard Beach.
Yeah.
Well, I should say I liked Typhoon Lagoon better than Blizzard Beach when they had the shark pool. The little shark encounter thing that you could do. I loved.
Shark Reef.
Yeah, the shark reef. I loved that. I thought it was so fun. It just added another dimension to it. I loved the element of it. And then the wave pool was fun. But when they got rid of the shark reef, it did diminish Typhoon Lagoon a little bit for me. But they still have, I think was it Crush and Gusher or something? Which is that cool roller coaster thing, similar to what Volcano Bay has with Krakatoa.
But not as good as Volcano Bay's.
Not as good as Volcano Bay's. But it was there before Volcano Bay. So Volcano Bay got to
true.
I don't know, maybe learn from that ride or technology's gotten better. But there's nothing like the wave pool at Typhoon Lagoon though.
Nope.
So I am really hoping that it does open up soon. I'm excited to go back, and I do love the theme of Typhoon Lagoon. It's just very tropical, and like a typhoon came through and busted everything up. And
Like our daughter called it at the Goonagoon, so that's what we call it now.
so I'm excited. Hopefully it does open back up because we want to check it out again. So there you have that.
Epcot announced this week that their International Flower and Garden Festival is going to be open March 2nd through July 4th. That's a long time for it to be open.
That's a long time.
Yeah. And
a long time.
There are 18 outdoor kitchens this year. Last year there was 19, so there's one less. But I'm super excited because we love all the Epcot festivals. That's our favorite thing to do.
We just go there for the food.
And there's going to be lots of food, flowers, topiary trees,
concerts,
especially
stuff.
Concerts.
I don't know what that means. It says concerts, maybe shows.
Yeah, and you can sign up online to get notifications about what concerts there are going to be.
So maybe there's real concerts with art. I don't know. I have to say we've never done the Flower and Garden Festival. We've been there during the Flower and Garden Festival. We've never paid attention to it because, I'm not a flower and garden person. I don't go places to look at flowers. When we at our home we never planted flowers.
No, I have a
for me
brown
the flower bed was an
Literally
annoyance.
and figuratively.
The flower bed for me was just annoying because I had to pick weeds, and then there was no flowers. We just had a bush in there. So to me, I'm just not I have a terror. I'm
Same.
the brown thumb. I can't keep anything alive. I can't even keep a tree alive. Any place I've ever owned that had a tree, the trees died. I'm I didn't even know you had to do anything with trees. I thought just rain and sun took care of it on its own, and then
Not in our
all
yard.
of our trees just died, no matter where we lived. So I'm not a flower and garden person.
No. But we're excited for this.
But I don't mind. I don't mind looking at flowers. I think they make things great and beautiful. And
Me too.
I think I'll definitely check that out. But I'm really just going to be there for the food and concerts and all the entertainment. I'm excited about that. But it's 4 months long. We're going to have to really pace ourselves on the food because I feel like
we're going to be done with it.
we're going to crank all that food out in a month or two and then be now what? So I don't know. But I'm sure there's all kind of cool stuff. So I'm excited. Once we know more about what's going to be going on at the Flower and Garden, as far as what entertainment there might be, maybe there'll be an Olaf's Expedition thing or Emil's Montage Fromage or whatever, and we can do those and check them out. We'll let you know and keep you posted. All right, and our last awesome bit of news is for Universal fans. Mardi Gras is returning.
Yay.
They've announced the dates of Mardi Gras, which are February 5th through April 24th. And it is a fun time. We went to Mardi Gras last year. And it was a blast. It was awesome. I think the only issue I think we had with Mardi Gras last year was we didn't know when the booths were opening or not being open or closed. So we would expect some of the booths to be open, and then we go there and they weren't open. And I was hello. So I don't know if that was staffing issues
or if it was because of COVID
or
something.
But it was awesome. So I'm excited about it, the return of it. Hopefully it's even better this year.
I like the little cavalcades and stuff or the little floats they had. I bet it'll be different this year because it says there's going to be parades this year. So I don't think it'll just be like the little cavalcades or people standing on the floats. I think there'll be an actual parade.
So parades, street performers, foods, all New Orleans, like all the theming and everything, all the costumes and people. It's really cool. It does also say that they are going to have the best names in music up on the plaza stage there. And that's the big stage. So right next to Rip, Ride, and Rocket, if you walk past on the left, there's that big like stage with like the little like grassy areas that you can sit in. Fake grass, but grassy areas. It says the best names in music.
Yeah.
I don't know. So once they announce like maybe who some of the performers are going to be, we'll find out. We'll see if it's actually best names or performers or it's just like local bands or something, which are best names in music, I think. It's just maybe you don't know about them. So, exciting. Awesome music, performers, parades, lots of food, Mardi Gras, party. I mean, who doesn't love Mardi Gras? Mardi Gras is awesome. So, and they do have the beads.
Yeah.
They do have the beads, which for quite a while after Mardi Gras or during Mardi Gras, some of those trees that are on your way out in the parking garage. It's like if you're headed towards the parking garage, there's like trees that are like close. You'll see like billions of beads thrown on those trees, which of course we never did because we don't litter. But apparently it was a thing. People were just like, hey, you know how it is. Like one person does it, and then other people does it. It's like when you go on the rides and there's like a little spot where like there's quarters. There's like a bunch of quarters on there. Yeah.
On
Expedition Everest. There's like a bunch of hair ties and stuff. I don't know, but
some people like to do that.
Anyway,
leave their mark.
So yeah, that's everything. Mardi Gras coming to Universal Studios. Exciting. All right, so that's the news of the week. Lots of cool things that you need to know about. You're going to want to start booking your travel for the Flower and Garden Festival and Mardi Gras. So thanks for joining us. It's been a great time. We will see you again tomorrow for another awesome episode. Until then, the Noble Way
is the easy way.
Bye-bye, everybody.